We'll now have the blueprint update by Kevin Michael. And Mr. Navarro.
Well, good afternoon, Ms. Cousins, Dr. Curry, and members of the board. My name is Kevin Michael, and I'm here as the implementation coordinator to provide an update on the Blueprint for Maryland's Future. We'll begin with two blueprint updates from the Accountability and Implementation Board. The first is the AIB is launching what it's calling the Blueprint for Maryland's Future Implementation Planning Series. You may recall from last month's update that the deadline for the AIB to develop the comprehensive implementation plan is December 1st, 2022. So as such, the AIB is beginning a series of weekly meetings, and with the goal of having a draft of the comprehensive implementation plan completed by October, and that would allow the month of November for public review and comment prior to being finalized in December. The intent of these meetings is to help develop a common understanding of the blueprint legislation and to provide input for the Accountability and Implementation Board from international experts and Maryland stakeholders. Next slide. The format of the June meetings will include an international expert who will speak about best practices, a representative from the Kirwan Commission who will share what the Commission's original intent was in its recommendations, and then AIB staff members who will present material specific to the content area for that focus of that meeting. Meeting participants will discuss issues and clarify expectations, timelines, metrics, and milestones. This is where we see the AIB really digging in and beginning the clarification process. June meetings will begin at 1:30. The links to the meeting will be posted on the Maryland General Assembly website. And this particular slide shows the dates for the June meetings of June 16th, the 23rd, and the 30th, and which policy areas, which, by the way, are now being referred to as pillars. So which pillars will be the focus of each meeting. The July and August weekly meetings will generally be on Thursdays and will begin at 1 o'clock. These meetings will serve as a follow-up to those meetings which are scheduled for June. And participants will include staff from the AIB, from the Maryland State Department of Education, from local school districts, and advisory committee members and other stakeholders. And you'll be hearing in a moment more about advisory committee members. The July and August meetings will be instrumental in determining implementation expectations, unresolved issues, and may help to identify issues which may require amendments to the legislation. And if there are amendments needed, then that would be addressed in subsequent legislative sessions. The second update is also from the AIB. The AIB is convening advisory committees for pillars 1 through 4. To provide input from a diverse cross-section of Maryland. The advisory committee members will help to identify problems and offer suggestions on how to address them. Advisory groups will also provide input on how the implementation of the blueprint is progressing. There will be 5 members per advisory committee, making a total of 20 people involved on the advisory committees. Anyone who is interested, any community member, any staff member, any board member who is interested on serving on advisory committee, which, by the way, is a 2-year term commitment, may apply no later than midnight on July 20th, and the link to apply and information about the application is on our slide here and is posted on the website. The link for information, I just covered that, never mind. So, are there any questions about my updates before we move on to Mr. Navarro? Okay. So next, I would like to introduce Mr. Tony Navarro, Executive Director. He serves as the facilitator for our High Quality and Diverse Teachers and Leaders Work Group, and Mr. Navarro will be presenting information about this pillar.
So, Thank you, Mr. Michael. Our goals for today are to introduce pillar number 2, high-quality and diverse teachers and leaders. There are many requirements of this pillar, including the career ladder, and today is just a start. Today, we are going to focus on National Board Certification that is a feature of this pillar. NBC implementation exemplifies several of the recommendations of the Maryland Commission on Innovation and Excellence in Education and guiding principles for the career ladder. And we'll also touch on the progress of the CCPS work group for Blueprint Pillar number 2 and next steps. The Commission made recommendations regarding this pillar, and here are 2. Making teaching a high-status profession by raising the pay and status of teachers, including a performance-based career ladder, a minimum statewide salary, and salaries comparable to similarly educated professionals. A redesign of schools to be a place where teachers are treated as professionals with a system of incentives and support, a career ladder to continuously improve their professional practice and the performance of their students. The implementation of NBC certification and accompanying salary increases are intended to raise the teaching profession to a higher status and increase the salaries of teachers, including those teachers with NBC certification. The implementation of the career ladder will be a redesign of the operation of our schools, where teachers will have a system of incentives and support to continuously improve their professional practice and the performance of their students. So what are the guiding principles for a career ladder and the blueprint? A progression of teachers in a manner that incentivizes teachers to stay on the teacher track rather than move to administration. A teacher salary that attracts new teachers to the profession. A teacher salary that incentivizes existing teachers to opt into the career ladder. And a teacher salary progression as performance increases, as demonstrated by a teacher achieving National Board Certification. There is a growing national teacher shortage, and these principles are designed to make teacher compensation comparable to that of other occupations requiring the same amount of university education. The blueprint mandates a 10% salary increase for teachers, NBC salary incentives for eligible teachers, and additional increases upon maintaining an NBC certification, and a $60,000 minimum statewide teacher salary by July 1, 2026. It's important to note the levels of the career ladder, as NBC certification is integral in moving up the career ladder. Level one of the career ladder is an entry level for being state certified, and teachers must remain on this level for 3 years before pursuing an NBC certification. Level 2 is where teachers start to pursue another certification, be it NBC or master's. Level 3 is becoming an NBC teacher, and level 4 is where a teacher is on the teacher or administrative leadership track. It is important to note that it is a prerequisite for a teacher to pursue an NBC to reach level 2 and attain NBC certification to reach levels 3 and 4, then choose the teacher leadership or administrative track. So NBC means National Board Certification, as issued by the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards, and teachers will soon become identified in our system as NBC teacher. And what is National Board Certification? There is a history to NBC certification, and it is recognized as the gold standard in teacher certification. As we said, the NBC certification is included in the implementation of the blueprint, and it's important to note that teacher evaluation shall be aligned to these 5 core propositions of National Board Certification. There are prerequisites for a National Board Certification, and they include having a bachelor's degree, 3 years of successful teaching in 1 or more early childhood, elementary, middle, or secondary schools. And this is a first step in moving up the career ladder. In October, Mrs. Brittany Sammons had a information session for teachers in Calvert County, where they reviewed the blueprint, went over national board certification, and went over the eligibility requisites, the NBC certification areas, the cost, and the timeline. There were 70 teachers that attended that information session in October, and we currently have 54 teachers pursuing NBC.
Mr. Navarro, you said 70?
70,
Okay, thank
70
you.
attended
Thank
that
you.
session. We have received guidance from MSDE regarding teachers that are eligible for the NBC salary increases. They have those definitions up there of teacher, certificated, and primary, responsible, and accountable. And these definitions serve to guide school systems across Maryland in identifying those teachers with an NBC certification and being eligible for the salary increases. MSDE has also indicated that all teachers in a co-teaching model, including special education or ELL teachers, who may be a teacher of record, may be eligible for the NBC salary increase so long as they meet all other eligibility requirements. So it is a statutory mandate for teachers that are NBC certified and eligible for the salary increase be accorded the $10,000 salary increase effective July 1, 2022. And CCPS is in the process of finalizing the list of NBC teachers eligible for the salary increase and will inform these teachers very soon. So our work group for pillar number 2, this work includes a comprehensive review of the pillar's requirements by analyzing and outlining the requirements, comparing current practices to blueprint practices, and finally making a determination of what CCPS needs to do to address the requirements. We will gain knowledge needed to implement the blueprint. All of this work is a first step towards understanding this pillar, which will result in the development of our blueprint implementation plan that is due March 15, 2023. And one of our other next steps is to follow the work of the AIB this summer, especially with their deep dives into pillar number 2.
Are there any questions?
Any questions? Thank you for the update.
Thank you all.
Thank you.